Hello and welcome back to another episode, and I promise a lot, this is going to be a really short one. I've taken your advice. I have created a couple of Skylander listings. I had a few people reach out to me and ask me if I do local pickup. I told the first person, no I don't. Then the second person came and asked, and I thought, why not? If you tell me the characters you're after, what I'll do is I'll create you a local listing. Going to do that in the next hour or so. So I'm just meeting them up at the shops, like I said before. I'm not going to have people come here, but I'm more than happy to go to the local shop, which is about 200 meters away, 300 meters away. But so I've actually built myself a new friend. So he is buying about 4 Skylanders. I thought, well, what better way of getting rid of this, these Skylander packets, things, storage cases that I don't keep. I normally throw out, or I donate to the Vinnies or Salvos, whoever will take them. So what I'm doing now, for anyone that comes and picks up, I will put their Skylanders in that, because I don't want to, destroy or, get rid of this stuff unnecessarily. Completely free. So long story short, I messaged him, said, hey, look, I'll meet you up at the shops at 4 o'clock. Where's Tori when you need him? So I'll meet him at 4 o'clock at the shops, and I'm wearing, Shane Soda City's Flips grey octopus shirt. I didn't give him the advertising material, but I just say, hey, look, and I probably will put a thing up here on the right or the left, whatever it works out to be, saying, hey, we're on grey octopus shirt, just to let him know what I look like and go from there. We're best friends now. He actually wrote back with what he was wearing, which I don't particularly care about. I was just trying to give him a visibility of what I'm looking at. But hey, each to their own. My wife said, look, he's probably just telling you that what he's wearing so you can, identify him as well. I didn't think of that. I don't particularly care. But each to their own. So we did have some progress yesterday in regards to the sales. Let me know in the comment section below how your sales are going. Mine are still going pretty decent. I think I said the last couple of days. I've been doing about $500, $600 average every day this month so far. Obviously piggybacking off the tail end of Q4. However, I'll be quite curious to see how that, eventuates and how that continues. So we do have some Japan challenge updates in regards to the Skylander lot that I bought the other day. We did sell Breeze, that little one that I showed you last time. I set an offer out for $494 plus post. They accepted it and it's off to the UK. So I printed off the label, packaged Breeze up. She's in a little box. She's ready to go. And basically after fees and postage, I can't remember what it was. I did put it on the community page yesterday, but I think everything else cost about $40, $50, $60 for the remainder of that Skylander bundle. So the kids went through, before I listed it all, they went through and tested all the Skylander stuff for me. As I said before, my 7-year-old, which was in the video yesterday, or she's 6, I don't know, father of the year, she tested them all, and she's very extrinsically motivated. And I said that before, is that she keeps coming out to me and wanting money. Our standing arrangement is that she does $20 for 100 Skylanders, and you'll probably see here, if I insert it here, this is the testing process for the light core Skylanders. So I normally turn the Skylanders on, and I have mentioned before, I use my Xbox Series X. I use Imaginators, because that breeds all the characters with the exception of 2, and go from that way. However, when you look at light core characters, and I'm doing this little video here, hopefully at the moment, all you need to do is basically turn the Xbox on, make the portal active, or put your PlayStation on, or your Wii, or like I said before, I use my router. As soon as the little light comes out, you know that character's working. For the simple fact is, if the NFC chip isn't working, which is what powers the little thing, that light won't come through. So I test them originally just to make sure that they are working, and when I go to test them again, especially their light core characters, I just tap them on the portal as you're seeing by the video, or it's probably finished, and we're good to go from there. Piggybacking off yesterday's video, this is Spotlight, right? So this is the character in question. Where are we? And these are the little horns that I was talking about. I'm just trying to work out the best angle to do it. So these little plastic horns here. So sometimes this one in particular, and this is the one he was probably talking about, it sits in front of the wing, and there's a good chance it's probably fallen behind the wing, right? And generally, this is arts and crafts with Minion J, but I'll try to work it out. But see if you can see it, like obviously, it's not white on white's not the best point, but the horn's gone on the inside of the wing where it should actually be on the outside. and it's a really soft plastic, and it actually like bends a little bit. So what I said yesterday, really all you need to do is grab the horn and gently gently straighten it out, and it works. And that's what he was whinging about. So the inconvenience and the shock and the horror from that nightmare buy yesterday was primarily just because that little horn there was sitting on the inside of the wing, and 2 seconds later it was done. These are problematic, and I did forget to put the buyer's username in there, and I have put it in the comment section by now. So by all means, please ban or block them from your buying platforms, because, and what Mike was saying was quite right yesterday, is that you shouldn't offer partial refunds or shouldn't accept partial refunds from these people. 100% agree with this. However, from my perspective, we are outside the US, right? So if I was in the US or it was someone in Australia, I would not hesitate to say, hey, look, here's a return label, send it back, and the communication ends. So I really don't know how eBay stances, especially in Australia, in regards to doing 30-day returns. And we don't have top rated plus, we only have top rated. We don't get a discount. All we get is apparently preferential treatment in the search algorithm, but we already know that gets swamped up by promoted listings. So there may be a benefit for top rated. I'm not too sure. I really haven't gone that far into it. But on all my listings, with the exception of parts only, which is that computer, when I list that, and a couple of other things I normally list, I accept 30-day free returns. I charge plus postage if it's a change in my return. I don't refund the postage going out if it's something that I've done, which is very rarely. It's not an egotistical thing, but I normally, photograph to high hell. So if it's something like that Skylander, for example, I know it's probably crap in the first place. So that was basically the issue, right? However, like I was saying yesterday, is it becomes worth more than $20 in my time. And yes, I do agree with Mike. Mike was saying that do not refund or do not offer partial refunds because you are screwing other resellers over. However, it becomes more problematic for people, especially in Australia. I want to say Rachel, I'm pretty sure it's Rachel, did mention that she did talk a little bit about the UK and the GSP program over there. Sounds like it's very similar to Australia, but like she said, she hasn't been over there for 4 years, so it may have adjusted. But like I said, that me investing, time and I suppose financial perspective as well, that's legitimate use. It would have cost me more than $20 Australian. So we're talking, say, $12 American. If I had threw my toys out of the cot, which I quite rightly should have, it would have cost me a return label from his place, wherever he lives, say New York, to wherever Chris lives. Then to PayPal money to Chris to have him to forward it to Florida, then Florida me charging again to send it over here. I don't really use the My US quite heavily, especially at the start of the year. It's more of a sourcing thing through the year to bring it over. And if you are in Australia, I strongly suggest you jump onto Whatnot and use a forwarding service that's similar. I don't know if Whatnot ships directly to Australia. However, if you are using a forwarding service such as My US, have it all punched into there. There are some shipping services that let you store indefinitely. My US is, I think it's about 30 days, and you start paying a daily rate from there. So if you do, 2 or 3 weeks of Whatnot sourcing, bundle it all up and bring it back to Australia. It's probably a good thing. But I digress. But like I was saying, with the partial refund, it is worth more time to me as a business owner and more pain in the ass for people overseas, like in the sense that I was creating an impost for Chris, possibly fraught with negative feedback, my word against the buyers. eBay Australia normally, from my experience, they normally go to the buyer's country. For example, if the buyer originated from the US, eBay Australia will redirect us or the question or the feedback revision to eBay US, which makes it more problematic. So for $20, yes, I screwed up some resellers. However, I'm doing you a solid by giving you his his buyer username in this video and the previous video as well, just to add to your block list. And that goes for teach the people that don't watch me a lesson potentially. But I can tell you now by reading his feedback left for others, this is not the first time that he has done it. If you go search by the member's username, it's a generic username, so it's not like, their first dot last name. Go from that way, block at your own peril. So second on cap on the rank. So we did have two characters that didn't work. One was probably like a $2 character. Unfortunately, Thrillipede as well. You can't really see. There we are. So Thrillipede's about anywhere between a $200 character or $250, depends on the day of the week, right? So the reason why this one is quite rare is I don't know. So the only thing I can put it down to is that Thrillipede is holding hand grenades. So I'm not too sure if that was something that wasn't really thought all the way through when it came out. That may be the reason why it's rare, but I legitimately can't find any reason why Thrillipede is a rare character per se. Yeah, that's in perspective. All right, cool, we'll roll with that. So long story short, this one didn't work. So as you can see by this video here, for some coincidence, actually, and this is purely for Graham, because Graham said I can't bring things into my, I suppose, my Japan challenge unless I sell them to myself at an inflated rate, being a reseller. So as coincidence would have it, is that I was just walking down the street, you know, at the front of my house, and I found Thrillipede on hard rubbish, as you can probably see by the video here. So I just thought, well, since it was, you know, hard rubbish and at the front of someone's house, just so happened to be my house, that's in the Japan challenge. And I'm happy to report, as soon as it went up for $50, it sold instantly to America. So then I reached out to the buyer, like you all tell me to do, and said, hey mate, do you realize that this character does not work? So the NFC chip is dead. It won't register. You know, I did write that in the title, I wrote in the body of the text, I wrote it in the item condition 14 different times, because with Toys to Life, they only have new or used, they don't have for parts not working. He was happy for that. So what he was going to do when I was speaking to him, you can buy cards, NFC cards online. He's just going to stick the card on the bottom of the character, put the character on the portal, and away you go. So you got a $200 character, around $150 to $250, like I said, depending on the day of the week, for $50 plus post over to America, and that's sold within 10 minutes of me putting it up. So if you do come across Skylanders, that character is perfect, right? So he's got no linkages, he's got no breakages. All it is it's got a dead NFC chip. But that falls into my Skylander, you know, I suppose, stance. And unless the characters are perfect, and unless they're working, I'm not going to tarnish my name by selling products and mixing them and cross-contaminating, because I do have 3 of him. And if I put him in the cabinet, there's a good chance I probably, you know, if I'm away or I'm in, you know, somewhere else, someone grabs him, packages it up, they've got a 1 in 3 chance of actually sending the wrong character out if I didn't list him as a broken character. So, like I was saying, I took care of that. So we did find him in the hard rubbish. He came into the challenge. So the challenge as it stands, and I haven't transferred it, he's $44.77 over yet, because I haven't had a chance. So for the Japan challenge, we currently stand at $114.93. So we're currently the 12th of January, so we're behind the 8 ball. We're well and truly ahead of the 8 ball in regards to stock and inventory. I did have someone reach out to America and asked me to potentially look at selling them the full collection with the exception of 1 book for the Warhammer books. However, the reason that I'm going to decline is he wants them for half price and free postage. I have been selling, and I sold another one today actually. So I think we've sold about 5 or 6. I have to go back through the records. But each of those books weigh a kilo. To say a kilo is probably just shy of 2 pounds. I'm not too sure. I'll someone do the conversion in the comments for me. And there's 17 books. So work out your rate. So for 500 grams, I think it's around about $18 I shipped to America for 500 grams. That would be about $24 for a book. Obviously, it comes down as you go up, but you know, for that base, you only pay the base price, then you're paying, you know, per kilo on top of that. So for me to potentially, maybe he might say, all right, I'll buy them all for $250 Australian. I'm probably looking about $350, $400 in postage to send them over. So it's not realistic for me to send them over from that way. I'm happy for people to cherry pick the ones that they want from America. Someone did ask yesterday what this sound was, because when I was undoing the drip bottle, so I didn't pick it up in editing, so someone did ask me what that squeaky sound was, but that's what it was. You've got to stay hydrated, especially when you're not drinking Coke. 12 days without Coke, massive migraine for the first 3 days. Since gone. Feeling a lot, I won't say healthier because I'm still fat, but a lot cleaner in the respect to the Coke. My next step is to probably go on the Man Shakes, which is like a diet milkshake kind of thing. You probably see them. I've told my boss is like literally the army version of the Incredible Hulk. He is massive, and that's his nickname at work. It's the Hulk because he's just built like everything. Like, very short man, but massively built. So he's trying to drag me into the gym, probably to bench press me. But I've told him before is I want to shrink down through obviously drinking heaps of water, which I'm normally drinking about 4 or 5 liters a day. Bring my weight down from about 110 kilos to about 105. Then I'll start going to the gym from that way. But going back on, yesterday I did forget to show you the Devil May Cry books. So these are the manga books here. Code 1, which is Dante. If you don't know, Dante's Inferno, this is what basically the characters are based on. So Dante being the main character, his book is quite small in comparison. He normally goes for about $70 to $80. It's pretty fair condition. It's not perfect condition. So I have put them in as a bundle. The second one, which is Virgil, which is his twin brother, which you don't know until you're halfway through the first game. So, spoiler alert for something that's playing it 25 years later. It goes for a lot more due to rarity. So what I've done is I've bundled them together for $150. I have allowed offers on. I'm in two minds whether just to allow offers across the entirety of the Japan challenge. I think I did turn them on for the Warhammer books, and primarily what I'm finding is that I am getting some offers, maybe 5%. If I've got a listed for $40, someone sent me 35. I know that's not 5%, but the $50 books, people are paying full price more often than taking the offer. And I did have someone come through on a $50 book with a $48 offer. So each to their own. I'm not too sure if that's a power play, but hey, I'm going to take your money and run for it. I paid $5 each for a book, as long as that book, and I think all but one's over $29. I think there's one at $29. The rest are about $39 plus $50. As long as it's over $25 for the $29 one, and the $39 one's probably at 30 mark, and like I said, 35 for the $50 ones, I'm going to take it. Like, I really need to start injecting cash into this Japan challenge just to start building it up. So going back quite quickly before we finish the video, and I'm running ahead of schedule today, I am bringing the computer back into the challenge. So I did ask in the previous video, and I left it right to the end because I didn't want only one of those dedicated viewers to I suppose, to vote. Pretty sure Rachel and Graham were the only one to vote. It was only two people. It was either Kayfan or Rachel. I'm pretty sure it was Rachel and Graham. Graham said no, Rachel said yes. So I'm the adjudicator, and we're going to play octopus games. I don't know if you watched Squid Games before, but I can't give it away. I'm not going to spoil it, but the evil character per se gets to select, if they continue playing or otherwise. So I'm going to give it a big circle, and we're going to incorporate it into the Japan challenge. So $30 off that total, what you just seen then. The computer comes in. I'm going to take the world's worst photos on the garage floor, use photo room, make it snazzy. Like I've said before, I will list it for 30 days, pick up only at the Crazy Shops. After that, it will go into a box and get shipped off that way. I'll probably give it another 30 days as in the box as a complete unit for $400. And I will take, I want to say King of the Stars. It's been a few days. If I screw up the names, I apologize. If it lasts 60 days here, I'll strip the bloody thing apart, then sell it off part by part. So I'm hoping that someone picks it up for $300 locally. I'm not going to promote this thing. It's not worth my time promoting it. It's so niche in the sense that someone in Canberra is fantastic for these kind of things, right? We've got a lot of people that do a lot of vintage gaming. I have picked up a lot of vintage gaming, vintage discs, the old big floppy ones, the actual floppy discs. A lot of those from kind of, I can't think of the word, groups, community groups, that do from that way. When I picked up those, he actually told me, this is probably 12 months ago, that there is a lot of community, vintage gaming and vintage computing community groups in Canberra. So there's a good chance this thing's going to get scooped up for $300. Then I don't have to worry about it. Probably walk away with $250, $240 profit after fees and postage. Before I go for the day, this is what I picked up today. I told my wife I'm going out on Facebook Marketplace to pick up the biggest thing she's ever seen. So this is going into the Japan Challenge as well. That figure there is after this $25 came out and the $20 for the manga books. So this is a Lego set, brand new and sealed from 2000. It's a Lego castle set, which was quite prevalent in the late 90s. This is probably just the tail end of it. It is brand new and it is factory sealed and the box is almost pristine. The only thing working against it, it's actually been imported from Korea. It may have even came from the Squid Games. You can probably see some Korean writing there. I did put that up for $75 plus post. I expect it to go quite quickly. I have done some bricklink comping as well if you are looking at selling Lego. This is a bit of a insider things for those of the people who can last 21 minutes into a video, is that look at Bricklink, that will give you a price set. Generally, Bricklink is a lot cheaper than eBay, so you go to Bricklink, see what it's sitting around that. That's currently sitting about $50 plus post from Italy for brand new, as you know, like for like. So I just put it for $75 on eBay and see how we go. There's a couple listed. My listings are inherently better that's currently available on eBay. Primarily before, it's because not my ego, it's because I was a Lego seller. I know exactly what Lego people are looking for in regards to listing structure, for title structure. Similar to that plush cat thing that I listed yesterday. I did list it, I might even throw the listing up here. There's two listings in Australia currently, one mine and one for that lady that's brand new. I will show you my listing here, the title structure, and I'll show you her title structure here. So I did probably about 10-15 minutes of research. I Google lensed it, took a photo. It came back as that Foyu cat. So it's actually a cat. I thought it was a fox yesterday. It's called Nemiq, and it's got a beret on. I actually thought it was an acorn. So this is the issue when it comes down to it. You know, I did find it. There are some people that has a pretty decent sell-through, these kind of plush. I've never heard of Foyu, so capital F, little U, capital R, little Y, U. They're over on Walmart for some reason. So like I said, I'll go over it. I've just listed it for $100, left offers on, paid $7 for it. Ava, she wants to keep it for herself. So we've made a compromise. She's got a little dresser in her room because she shares a room with her bigger sister, Olivia, which is 10. I've told her she's not allowed to touch it because it's white and it's pristine condition. It's been cleaned. I didn't clean it, but I will give it a bit of a clean before it goes. And I've put it on top of the dresser so they can look at it and not touch it. So, and if that becomes a problem, I'll move it on top of my cupboard where I keep the other plushes. And I think that's it for us for another day. So I'm going to go visit my friend probably in the next half an hour or so, just to make sure that we can continue being besties. I will open up Skylanders to local pickup in the respect, like I was saying, is people, I'm not going to change my my variation listing. What I'll do is I'll create specific listings for people when they come through. I don't want people coming here. I don't want to give them the option on the variation listings for the simple fact is I don't want to be mucked around with people dictating to me, hey, look, I can be at the shops at 4 o'clock. If this guy's not at the shops at 4 o'clock, I'm cancelling that sale. I'm pretty sure he's going to be. I have thrown some extra characters. Oh, yeah, and you remind me. So I threw some extra characters in this one. I'm going to tell him the reason why the extra characters are in there. This is Crash Bandicoot and Neo Cortex. They're in for Imaginators. He brought a couple of Imaginators. They had broken noses and had all these different things, but the characters were working fine. So I had a few people reach out to me, and Hilly and Graham, and there's a couple more that asked me, why don't I leave a little note in the box to say, hey, look, this is for you, this is a free Skylander, enjoy, and all these different things. I don't have any on me at the moment, but here's one we prepared earlier, right? I do have one on me. So this is the way I normally do it. So if you're in Australia, go to Australia Post, get your international label satchels, the ones that, little paper things that, your international labels slide into. Ask for a box. Just say, hey, look, I'm an eBay seller. I'm quite important. I know the descriptive octopus. Don't say that. They'll probably work against you. What I normally do for video games and for action figures and primarily Skylanders as well, depending on, like I said, the quality of the characters or the price of the characters, I'll put them in a little bag together. They're not going to break. Hex, this one here, as you can probably see, she's got a very thin arm, so she's very thinly structured. and she will break it looking at her. So I'll put her in her own bag. So people did ask me why don't I waste time? And that's the point. Why do I not put a note in there to say, hey, look, thank you for your order. Here's some extra Skylanders, all those different things. I did think, and this is going to be a longer video than I was hoping, so it's all your fault, Graham, and Hilly, I'm blaming you too. So the reason why I don't do that for is twofold, right? I don't have the time. I don't have no interest in having extra time. I'm selling, 10, 15 Skylanders. My inventory system is still a shit fight, and thank you very much to Rosie and all those that did let me know which a better way to do it. I'm still in the process of trying to work out how to do that, because I think Mike actually said, look, bring your characters down to 10, then, store those 10, keep the rest in the bucket and just replenish. That's probably the closest to what I'm actually going to do. However, I think I've got a hunch that if I bring down my Skylander listings from, say, 500, 600, whatever they're currently into the themes, to 60 or 70, eBay might see that as a negative thing in the algorithm. So I don't want to test that. I'll probably test it bit by bit to see how we go from that way. I'll test it by character. If that there's no negative from that way, I'll bring it down across the board. But I am taking your feedback on board. I don't know everything. I'm not a perfectionist. Regardless of what people say in the comment section, I don't know everything, and I will tell you what I do know. And if I don't know, I will tell you that as well, and open up yourself for suggestions. By all means, if I do something that's completely driving you batty and ripping your hair out, let me know and I will tell you, hey, that's a fantastic idea. Or no, that won't work for these reasons, or I have tried that before and it didn't work for these reasons. Plastic crates need to be for the Skylanders. I can't use cardboard. Someone did ask me previously why don't I follow the daily refinement model for the cardboard. The cardboard would tear apart because I need to rip these things out left, right and center. The storage racks, I have been using them probably for 10 years actually. So these I would recommend if you are looking at reselling in a ongoing stance, in the sense of, hey, look, if your New Year's resolutions to make $5 million reselling because you watched Tekken Sports, it's probably not going to happen. But if you literally, past June, something like that, there is a high failure rate with resellers, and that's not taking the piss, and that's not trying to be me. That's just being realistic, and I have told you before, is when I used to sell Lego, I used to divulge my information for Lego, quite freely to people in that space, only for them to disappear in a couple of weeks. Like YouTube resellers, like Christian said it a couple of days ago, Media Man Carl that did this big hoo-ha about how he's going to take over the world with YouTube. Then one day he stopped posting and never came back. So if you do survive that initial onslaught of resellers realism, in the sense of saying it's not as easy as you think it would be, do watch people like Tekken Sports, do watch a lot of YouTube content creators, but I would divide or take away, probably the best way to say it, the fantasy from the reality, in the sense of Tekken Sports. I don't necessarily agree with everything he says. However, he's infinitely more successful than I am. So, choose your own adventure as to who you want to listen to. But majority of the stuff I do, and I have said before, I do appreciate him. I do admire him. He's quite smart. He's quite got it switched on. And for someone to monetize a group to the amount of money he's bringing in a monthly, that's given the octopus world domination aspirations a run for his money. But hey, I'm a capitalist. I'm extrinsically motivated. Good on him. No issues from there. So, like I was saying, if you do get past that initial onslaught, look at getting some high quality racking system. More the high quality, the better. I picked up these from Costco on special for $250 each. I've got two on the other side of the garage, which completely filled with my military crap and my swag and my Christmas tree. So you're not going to see on that side because you'll think less of me. My arcade machine's over there though. I love my arcade machine. But I think it was $250 on sale at Costco. And what happened from there is that if I need to sell them, they'll probably go for about $200 on local pickup from that way as well. So being in the military, my wife's looking at probably being posted at the end of the year, hopefully not. So I'm gonna have to strip all this down and move it down. If that's the case, with the Skylanders, I'm not gonna move them to probably Western Australia, Northern Territory, wherever we go. What I'll do is I'll train my nephew up, because I'm in the process of trying to get him to, think bigger. I'll train him up and bring him on as a full-time employee for the Skylanders. Full-time in the sense that, I'll pay him for these hours that he works. So, like I said, they'll be up in Newcastle. He currently lives with my parents, with my sister. The storage shed that I keep this stuff around, or as Mum affectionately calls it, the warehouse, is literally 300, 400 metres away. He's just got his Ps or his provisional licence, so he's more than welcome. He's pretty switched on, so he can go up there and pick the Skylanders. That's if it eventuates from that way. But yeah, I think we've covered it all today, and I'm thinking about 3 seconds ahead of time. I wanted this to be a quick video. I do love the sound of my own voice, apparently. But anyway, hopefully everyone's going well. There may not be a video on Wednesday. I've got to do a sleep study, so I've got to go to the hospital. I might ask them if I could do a live. So let me know in the comment section below if you're up for a YouTube live on Wednesday night when I'm hooked up to all these different blinking lights and all these different things. I don't have an iPad. I can't take my computer in because it's a little Mac Mini, so I'm really stuck with my phone and a set of AirPods. So if you want to come and join me, I'll clear it with the hospital because I'm probably in a private room, well hopefully, because I will crack the sats if I'm not, and we can do a YouTube live. I don't like our chances, but hey, we'll find out. If I go live, you know why. But yeah, like I said, everything's cracking along here. It was coincidentally enough, I found that Thrillipede at the front. I was quite happy with that. I hope everyone's doing well, having a good week. I did have a few people ask about Grumpy Granny. She's letting me do this January video a day challenge, not to burn me out. Yes, I could do a podcast, but the podcast lives on its own channel now. And I think Grumpy Granny was telling me as well, she's taking her own social media ban, or she's having some break away from as well. So she's laying low in her own respect as well, but we're still in talking terms. Don't worry, we're not ignoring each other. We're not having some forks, fight and all these different things. She still loves me, and the octopus is still jury's out on her. So, like I was saying, the podcast is coming back. It's probably going to be February at this stage. I think we left it as episode 490,000, so probably 490,001. We'll be back in February. I do like doing those kind of things. Like I have said before, the podcast, as much as I love doing it with Grumpy Granny, I prefer doing the lives. I don't like doing the podcast because it just feels like we talk about the same stuff over and over again, which is quite contradictory because what I'm doing, talking about Skylanders every day. But just make sure you click subscribe on the Worst Reselling Podcast. It's got about, I think, 60, 70 subscribers at the moment. It will be coming back on that channel. Grumpy Granny normally releases the podcast to her followers as well, her channel members. I don't do channel members because I really don't have any value adding to give you, but each their own. If you want to do channel members, I don't particularly care. It's not up to me, not my prerogative, don't care. And the last bit of housekeeping is that, I don't know. Oh no, actually I do know. Let me know in the comment section below. I am looking for new resellers or YouTube content to listen to. There is a lot. Seamus, which is Flipping Doofus or Flips to Doofus, I'm not too sure. he did put a comment in the video the other day about the angle. If you are doing these kind of videos and you're quite big like I am, because I'm massive, I'm the side of a house, angle it down because it's a lot more photogenic than going down when you're seeing all my chins and all those different things, as you probably with the video that you've seen earlier on. But let me know in the comment section, more YouTube resellers. Smaller the better. I really like supporting small YouTubers, content creators. I do watch all the Australians per se. I'm just about to go watch Nelly, which I think she was the treasure reseller or the booming reseller. I can't remember what she goes by now. I'm just about to go watch her video in the time that I've got to kill before editing this video and go and visit my friend at the shop, new friend. But yeah, I'm always on the lookout for new resellers or new YouTubers, just to give them content, because I watch PDX Picker. I love PDX Picker, and he only gets like 30, 40 views on his videos a day, which is quite a poor thing. Like, Ken, SSK promo, and if you're here at 33 minutes and 54 seconds into a video that's only supposed to last 10 minutes, please go across to the Worst Reselling Podcast ever. Give them a subscribe. Tell them that Octo sent you. I absolutely love those guys. Corey and Ken are phenomenal. I did have a conversation with them earlier, just by virtue that the octopus screamed at me and told me to get on camera. They are two fantastic guys, very smart, very witty, very funny, but they don't get the love that they deserve. So by all means, go across their channels, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.